What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nasher. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners. Excuse me, that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set, much similar to what I pulled out of my Genesis Impact box that I opened up last year, which is this beautiful B Cup from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful as a collector rare. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. And I want your guys' honest opinion about this. Who would you but the question of the day is this. Who would you actually, you know what? Let me do this. Which championship design would you consider to be the worst design of all time? Let me know down in the comments below. And speaking of championships, last week on NXT, we saw the Dawn of NXT, Tony D'Angelo, win his very first singles championship in WWE, that being the NXT Heritage Cup. And we now know that he is basically, again, he is now the champion, but he needs new challengers. So with that being said, who would step up? Who exactly will step up to the Dawn of NXT? Well, there is actually quite a few superstars who would take up the challenge, including guys like Andre Chase, Axiom. I would say Boa, but unfortunately Boa's contract with WWE is going to be expiring within the next couple of weeks. So he will no longer be with WWE, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. Bronco Nima, there's Brooks Jensen, obviously Stax, but there's no way Stax would ever challenge the Dawn. Charlie Dempsey, the former champion. Damon Kemp, Dante Chen, Duke Hudson, Eddie Thorpe, Adrian Enofe, Hank Walker, Javier Bernal, Javon Evans, who is arguably one of the fastest rising stars in NXT today, Joe Coffey, Joe Gacy, Josh Briggs. There's Lexis King. There's Luca Crucifino, who's now part of the D'Angelo family. But again, I highly doubt Luca would step up to that type of challenge. Lucian Price. Let's see here. Malik Blade, Mark Coffey, Miles Bourne, Nathan Fraser, Noam Dar, another former champion, Obafemi, Oro Mensah, Rich Holland, Riley Osborne, Scripps, but I don't know if Scripps is ever going to come back, because I heard rumors that his contract is going to be expiring pretty soon, so I'm not so sure. Sean Spears, Tank Ledger, there's the current NXT champion Trick Williams, Tyreek Igwe, Tyson DuPont, and of course Wesley, and none other than Wolfgang. Honestly, every last one of these guys and more have the potential to challenge Tony D for that title, but I think it has to be based on. It would have to be based on who knows the British rounds matches better than anyone else. So if I had to pick three, I would say Wolfgang. Let's see here. Wolfgang, Rich Holland, and if I had to pick one more, if I had to pick one more, honestly, I would have to say maybe Lexis. I think Lexis King would probably be one that definitely comes into mind. So Wolfgang, everyone knows that Wolfgang from his days in NXT UK actually had quite a few Heritage Cup matches in the brand. In fact, I actually want to see something really quickly. Let's go. In fact, if I remember correctly, Heritage Cup, here we are. If my memory serves correct, yeah, I thought so. Okay, all right. So A-Kid was actually the first ever Heritage Cup champion. Then it was Tyler Bate, then Noam Dar, then Mark Coffey, then Noam Dar again. Nathan Fraser took it, and then Dar regained the cup and held on to the title for over literally for quite a while. In fact, in all three reigns that he's had, let's see, across all three of his title reigns, he's held the title for let's see, 190, how long? Oh, never mind. What was it, 550? I think it was. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to calculate how many days he was champion for. Here we are. Let's do this. So his first run was he held the title for 258 days. His second run, he held the title for 292 days. And then his third run was 189 days. So altogether, he's been champion for 739 days, which is the longest ever. And so right now, there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Heritage Cup champions just right there, which is absolutely insane. So the way I see it, again, Wolfgang has had a few opportunities at the Cup, But the problem is that he never was able to take the cup off of Noam Dar when he was champion in NXT UK. And funny enough, Mark Coffey was already champion. So I believe personally, it's time for another member of Gallus to hold on to that cup, and I think it's Wolfgang. I think it's gonna be Wolfgang. As far as Ridge, I think I said Ridge Holland as well. So with Ridge is at the point in his career in WWE where it's like he's lost. He doesn't know where what to do next. He doesn't know how to assess his career, and apparently he's recently been aligning himself with Chase U. Excuse me, with Chase U, and one could argue that Andre Chase is the key ingredient that Ridge has been missing to not only keep his anger in check, but also to be a much more better performer in the ring, rather than be just this guy that that injured Big E and injured Ilya Dragunov and broke their necks. Ridge is he's one of those dudes. But the way I see it, I think Ridge Holland versus Tony D would be pretty interesting, to say the very least. But it would also be interesting as well, because Ridge, he knows British rounds. He's been from what I had heard during his time in the Indies, or something like that. He actually was pretty tough when it comes to British rounds. I don't know if he did compete in British rounds, but I believe he did. I'm gonna have to look into that, but I think given his background, I think he would do pretty well in British rounds. And then as far as Lexis King goes, I mean, Lexis King, he's in need of some championship gold, and I think the Heritage Cup would be a good first start for Lexis King, but who knows? But again, there are so many other talent in NXT that could step up to Tony D. But among those three, as far as like who the first challenger would be, crazy as it sounds, I think it should be Wolfgang. I know that if my memory serves correct, I know that Gallus had their issues with the D'Angelo family once before. I don't remember when that was, but I think that rivalry should really get going over the cup, and who knows, maybe that could lead to a 6-man tag between both teams, but who knows? But I will say this: no matter who steps up to the challenge first, I have no doubt in my mind that Tony D'Angelo is going to be one hell of a fighting champion. But again, as far as who his first challenger would be, we'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see, because with Battleground coming up in a couple of weeks, one could argue that we might see his first defense take place at Battleground, which is possible. But it could also take place sometime in the next 2-3 weeks, maybe even the next month or so. Or his first defense could potentially be at NXT Heatwave, which is going to be in Toronto, if I remember correctly. So it'll be interesting, but we'll have to wait and find out. But with that being said, that will do it for this week's episode of WWE's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.